That's why I say, I've said this in interviews a lot. There is a deep state. The fact is, it exists, and it's unelected, and it's generally unaccountable to anybody, and they just wait for the president to leave if they don't want to do what he wants. Nobody said we're going to torture people, or there was a secretary who fainted once when she happened to be in the room while Abu Zubaydah was being tortured, and she curtailed her assignment. I'm not doing this anymore. That is a career-ending decision to curtail an assignment. The big ones were waterboarding, the cold cell, and sleep deprivation. We know from the American Psychological Association that people begin to lose their minds at day 7 with no sleep, and they begin to die. Their organs begin to shut down at day 9. But the CIA was authorized to keep people awake for 12 days. And that was another thing that caused prisoners to just die. You have these industrial strength lights on them 24 hours a day and like death metal 24 hours on volume 11. And they just can't sleep because if they collapse, they'll pull their arms out of their sockets. And then when people would die, they would just dig a hole next to the interrogation building, put him in the hole, cover it up, and then bring the next guy in. There was one guy they reported on, and headquarters wrote back and said, just put him on ice until we can figure out what to do. And they literally just put him in a bathtub and filled it with ice, and then just decided a couple days later he started to turn. We should probably bury this guy. Wow. No, none of it was effective. The other thing is the CIA had entered into an agreement with these 2 contract psychologists, James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen, in October of 2001. And they said, hey, we've reverse engineered the military's SEER program, and we think this would be an effective but harsh interrogation technique. And so we were chomping at the bit at the agency to try this thing out without using the word torture. We paid those guys $108 million to say, oh, we think you should torture people. Just let us know when you want us to start. $108 million for that. What's your response to that? And the president looks right in the camera and he goes, we do not torture, like that. And I said to my wife, who was a senior CIA officer, I said, he is a bald-faced liar. They're going to leave somebody out to dry to protect themselves. I said that the CIA was torturing its prisoners. I said that torture was official U.S. government policy. It was not the result of any rogue officer. And I said that the policy had been personally approved by the president himself.